Hi everyone, I'm Mayang from 42 Interactive, a digital transformation agency based in Sydney, Australia. So, our BTS podcast episode, or behind the scene podcast episode, will uncover everything you need to know about 42 Interactive as a company, its amazing journey, its great team, and its collaboration. Happy watching! Hello, I'm now joined by Danny Sutanto, the CCO of 42 Interactive. Hi Danny, how are you?
Hi, Mayang. How are you? I'm good.
Good, finally. This is our very first podcast episode, isn't it? Are you nervous?
Yes, I'm excited. No, I'm excited because it's good to see you and good to have this kind of podcast session.
Yay, that's good. Okay, so before we're talking about 42 Interactive itself, would you be able to, share a little bit about yourself to our viewers? Like maybe your background as a creative leader, or maybe, experiences in that field.
Yeah, so I have a more than 10 years experience in the creative industry. Started as a graphic design based on print, and then loving the digital side of designs, and I moved into more of a digital designer, designing apps or websites and so on. Back then, I guess worked for a lot of different advertising or marketing agencies, and then into experiential agencies. If you don't know what experiential agency is, it's basically a cool name for mostly events and marketing agency. They're creating a lot of events, but in the events there's a lot more interactivity. They're creating like big exhibitions or stage kind of style, or some of them can be like permanent installations in whether it's in museums or office and things like that. So working in those as art director and move up into creative director. Yeah, and then before that's what I did before I started 42 Interactive.
That's super cool though. Okay, so regarding 42 Interactive roles, what's your day-to-day activities in 42 Interactive?
My day-to-day, it's looking after the creative team and the creative output of our company. However, saying that our company is not particularly just advertising or marketing, right? We are a creative technology company, more heavy on the technology side of things. That's what I'm passionate about. So it's more looking into the user experience of the products or services that we do, helping our clients or for our own products, help define the roadmaps for those products, help define the creative output or the creative style or direction of those products and services, and also working together with our business director and technical director to ensure that the project is top notch, the quality is up there, and the client is happy. And we try to realize the client's dream.
Oh, that's cool. So basically you're creating like a creative branding for them, right? Like creating the DNA for
Yeah. Well, yes. I mean, we're always gonna start with their brand and understanding their brand guidelines, but brand vision and mission. Everybody has that, and trying to help to realize that, ensuring that it answers their brand vision and mission. But a lot of our products are more operational based and less of the marketing based.
Okay, so before we're talking about the client itself, let's talk about 42 Interactive. Ever since I joined 42 Interactive, I was kind of wondering, this is really cool. The name is 42 Interactive and the logo is very cool. So can you share to our viewers, what is 42 Interactive? Where is it from? Why is it 42 Interactive? What's the background, the story about it?
Yeah, when all of the co-founders of 42 Interactive, Rob, myself, when we were trying to come up with a company name, it's always going to be hard. So what do we call ourselves? How we call ourselves that will be memorable, that has a meaning, something that we can continually use in terms of its kind of style or terminologies and things like that. You get what I mean? And we all love about technology, future technology, and development of technology. And at the end of the day, all of us kind of agree that I guess looking at the space technology, right? Like modern, out there, things like that. That's the one that kind of like resonate with all of us. But we try to be also quirky, right? We're also trying to be memorable. If it's just about space exploration and things like that, people might think, oh, you're creating rockets. Right? So it's not gonna stick. So we all love kind of like the old school kind of like stories and good writing, right? So one of them is the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Have you read that? Have you heard the book?
No.
Or watched the movie? I think that's something that you need to do this holiday. To watch Hitchhiker Guides to the Galaxy.
Yeah.
I think that's something that we should give as a Christmas present to all of our new employees as well.
An idea.
I think you might have missed it. We give it to the some of our employees already, but you might miss some of them. So I'll talk to our project manager in Indo to do it. Okay.
Yes,
so anyway. So the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, that book is talking about, it's a sci-fi kind of comedy.
I see.
Book. It's really nice, and in one of them, it's basically the human race get into a really advanced place where they then created a supercomputer called Deep Thought. Okay, right. And they always think about the same thing as all of us are always thinking about, like, what is the answer to the galaxy, the mystery of human life and everything, right? That's a big question to ask. And then because they thought, okay, you know what? Let's create a crazy supercomputer called Deep Thought that would then be able to give us the answer. So one day they came back, and then they say, so Deep Thought, what's the answer to life and universe and everything? And then Deep Thought basically just said 42, and everybody's like, say what? Like, why 42, right? And then so Deep Thought basically said, well, before you can understand the answer, you need to understand your question, which is interesting. Like, it's basically asking, why did you ask that question in the first place?
Right.
What motivated you to ask that? And I thought, well, look, that's really nice. That's something that we do, right? We when we started
giving solutions,
before all the solutions that we have, before the answer, we always have to ask questions. That's why on our website we always say we start by asking questions like, why do you want this product? Why do you want this service, and things like that. So that's when the name 42 comes from. And interactive is because, well, it's if we just have a 42, it's difficult for other people to understand what is it. It's just a number. Is it a road number or whatever it is? But then we apply interactive in it so that they know, oh, okay, it's design and technology creating interactive stuff, right? Interactive applications, interactive website, or sites, and so on. So that's why if you see closely, see closely on our 42 logo, you will see that there is a question mark on it.
Yeah, is it with the blue dots?
Yeah, the blue dot, and then number 2, it has the question mark on it. So that's where the 42 interactive name comes from. Well, and we always be inspired with that, and then that becomes the theming of our branding, right? Space exploration, blueprint, creating rockets, and future technology focus, and so on. Okay.
So giving solution, but asking the question itself to know the base.
Yeah,
right?
asking.
That's very cool.
Yeah, asking the important questions first, but the answer will always be 42.
That's cool. That's really cool, actually. I'm going to watch it. Okay. So that's about the background of 42. And can you tell me and viewers what's unique about 42 Interactive? Like, so what's tell them apart from the other, you know, technology creative agency?
Yeah, so we've been, all the co-founders and everybody in it, we've been through a lot of different creative agencies, a lot of them are focusing on in the delivery of marketing campaigns that is short-lived, right? It doesn't mean that we don't do or we cannot do those, but what we're focusing on is a long-lasting technology that would help transform businesses or transform services into a lot more streamlined and it's digitally focused that will also help businesses connect with the people or the customers.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's really unique about us is that we are a team full of creative and developers that are very passionate about what we do. Okay, but we're not locked into a certain bucket, but we are not also claiming that we are a jack of all trades. We're focusing on creating great interactive technology and user experiences that that's creative, and then creatively thinking how do we use technology to answer all of this, so that's how kind of like what's unique about us. And the other part of it is also, if you think about it, it's like, okay, we don't do too much of like marketing gigs, okay, or
right.
What I would say is like a one-off campaign, right? What we want to do, what we approach is we want to create more, those kind of products and services that help the day-to-day work of our clients. That's kind of what sets us different. That's why our clients become like a partners to us, right? Become a partner to us, and then they see us as technology partner who help them continually, whether it's in consultancy or whether it's in development or design, to help them continually transforming their digital services and their processes to be a lot more streamlined and technology focused, right? That's what's the difference. If you see from other digital agencies or marketing agencies, like there's nothing wrong with having like a one-off services that focus on short-lived campaigns, but that's not our focus. That's what sets us differently.
I see. Cool. And in terms of design process, from the 42 design team, what's the difference about your design process?
Okay, so we are gearing up for a new service in 2022. Actually, I'm just gonna say it quickly here while we're at it. It's called digital deep thought process, right? Coming from the deep thought of the computer processing, but it's also a good way of saying that we are always thinking deeply about what we do. So in those, what we do is we look at in the process we look at the brand review, like you asked, right? For like looking at what the brand vision and mission of the client, making sure that whatever our solution is, kind of like continuing their brand vision and mission. And then we do heuristic review, the UX and UI design, looking at like their current user experience, whether it's their product, whether it's their service, what's wrong with it, why is it working, or why isn't it working for them, right? And then we do a tech review, right? Technology review. And then we do I guess kind of like the customer relationship management, right? How do they manage customer relationship after that? And then the last one would be security review, right? So some of this, or not all of this, will always be in our design process, we do all of this first before we then come up with a solutions, and whether it's design or technology solution, dependent on what the client needs. So that that process, we find it working every single time with our client, because sometimes our client just want like, okay, here's what we want, but again, that's what we said. Well, first we ask questions like, why do you want that? you know,
True.
why does it
Yeah.
help you, and what kind of setup do you have right now that enable you to have that in the future? Because otherwise you're not prepared for it, and then it becomes like just a gimmick, or you know, one-off product that might not be successful. When we see a lot of businesses, you know, rushing into things, and then yeah, they don't think in that manner.
That's
So
true.
within that digital detox process, we apply our design thinking. Okay, design thinking not only from the user experience and design in general, but design thinking into our technology as well. You know, when we create a technology solution, we are thinking about the end user of this technology. Okay, who's gonna use it, or who's gonna be in touch with it, making sure that, you know, the user experience is simple as possible for them to understand, and it becomes like second nature to them to use it, you know, using known design patterns and good design patterns, so that people don't need to learn too much about it, and they can intuitively just use it.
Yeah, true. Okay. I quite like the deep thoughts ways, you know, because for me, and I think the creative side of everything and design, especially design thinking, like the research and the brainstorm part is the sexiest part of, you know, creating a brand or creating like an idea, right? So I think that's like the most important part. Okay. We've got a lot of design projects, right? And if I want to ask, what's your dream design project would look like?
You know, the design project that I would love is something that would help people, like that would help to solve real issues. Okay, that would be a dream project, right? Like you know, any of our project or solutions, we always help people in general, right? We'll always help making their work more efficient, you know, making their reach wider, you know. So we do help, you know, businesses to transform into a better place to place, from a better spot to, you know, higher spot, right?
To improve,
But what we want to do is like, what I really want to is like looking into what is the real world problem out there and trying to help, you know. Like it sounds like the answer to what do you call it, beauty pageants, right? Like what is your dream, like, oh, you know, solving world hunger, or, you know, world peace, you know. But of course there's a lot of things inside of that, right? Like, but if we can use, you know, technology creatively to help real issues, you know. Let's say, you know, there are a few technologies out there that we saw, like that I kind of like, oh, I wish I thought about that. For example, like this a company that creates an automated bot, or a boat, a boat, okay, that help clean up you know, waterways from plastic waste. Okay, so from pollution, like that's a real world problem, right? You know, it won't solve world hunger or bring peace to the world, but it helps clean up the waterways, so therefore it's gonna be less you know, sick for people who consume it, right? And pollution create, you know, health problems, for example, right? So those kind of things, you know. So that will be some of our dream projects, you know, coming up with, you know, community focus. Because at the end of the day, if we just create a one project or one design or one service that is going to be us who's doing it, to me it's like, well, it's kind of a little bit, to me, not fruitful, because we have to do the hard work to do it. But if it's trying to engage the community to help it, you know, then that's better, because then we do education to a lot of people as well. So that's what I'm thinking, like, you know, that would be a great dream project for us. And then, but we do have some of those though, you know, so we do have some of those dream projects that we're currently doing. So
okay, so this is actually related to the one that you answered just now, and this is going to be our last question, because we've got limited time here. So from all of the projects that you've done, I'm sure each of them are really great, but is there any one that memorable design project that you have done? Only one?
Well, Only one. Wow, that's a little bit difficult. It's really tricky.
Yeah.
Really tricky. Yeah, well, we can name a few, but
All
I
right,
think
that's
one that
fine.
was
Yeah, yeah.
kind
2 is okay.
of two is okay. All right.
It's
So
all right.
the first one, I think I'll mention some in my as well. It's marketing. So one that's really memorable for me personally. It's one of our interactive installation for Vivid in Sydney. We work together with an artist with disability, Digby Webster. He basically has this unique painting style of painting profile photos of or pictures of people and so on. So what we did was the brief was also, this is about inclusivity in that space. Okay, a Vivid interactive installation that has inclusivity as a theme. And then so we had to work together also with an artist with disability. So we were together with Digby. So what we did was we using facial tracking or recognition, not recognizing the face in terms of who you are, but kind of like the features of your face and the way the face moves. And then we created a randomly generated or generative art, basically based on Digby's painting, and then map it out to the what do you call it, passerby's what do you call, or the user or the guest's face as they step into the interactive part of this, and then they can then move the head left and right and talking and so on, and then making Digby's painting comes to life. I think that was memorable because it's, it has a lot of kind of engagement. It has this kind of like kind of bringing how do you call it, focus to artists with disabilities, and making their work come to life. It has a lot of those elements. And I guess the other two I think I just mentioned quickly, it's like one of them is we have a product called Find My Playground right? And on Find My Playground, we're trying to get the community to use it and to be able to comments on playgrounds that is focused on accessibility. Okay, a lot of times in here in Sydney, we found playgrounds that that were built by councils and so on around this area that is not really accessible for people with disabilities. For example, if the ground has barks, okay, like wood chips. Now people with wheelchair or kids with wheelchair, they won't be able to go into this area to play, okay, to be amongst the people or the kids that are playing. So this kind of becomes an issue, or even a pathway, a simple pathway to the playground. Sometimes they don't have a proper track, or a pathway. It's just like grass. So it's really difficult for them to wheel their wheelchair. So what we did was we're creating a product to basically focus on a community to help us to review playgrounds and then state which playground that have kind of those accessibility features. Okay, and I think you've been working on some of the marketing part of it and content part of it as well, which is, I think, it's exciting. So that's kind of like products that are some of those dream projects. And recently we've launched together with our partner boxofficevr.com. So that product is trying to solve or help the current theater industry in this pandemic season that is basically closed and really struggling. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to create a platform where all of the theater industry, where whether it's the venues, the production houses, the actor and actresses, the designers, set designers, lighting people, sound people, to come back to get to create a virtual reality version of their show, recorded in the theater, and then we bring it to people, because people are restricted. Nobody can come to theaters anymore, and we don't know when it's gonna last. So we've launched this platform, so this platform will hopefully help content creators to create those content again, getting people employed, and then use be on our platform so that they gain profit and momentum from that, and then or funds to keep on continue creating more creative content. So those kind of again, the work we do. Yes, we do a lot of website and apps and big complicated platforms and development for our clients, for their day-to-day process. But also we do this kind of one-off designs or platforms that would help a lot of people using creative technology.
Yeah, that's really cool actually. We've got the red string from all of those 3 projects to help, isn't it? Like we help not just like a client, but actually help people out there as well with our projects. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, so that's what the things that we're trying to do. And I guess there are a few other projects that we're currently working on that we will launch soon, that again we're trying to solve real world problem.
Yeah,
but that's for another podcast session.
Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so I think that's it. Thank you so much for joining me today, Danny. And I'm looking forward for
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm looking forward for our next episode, maybe talking about 482 Interactive and other projects.
Definitely. Great, thank you.
Have a good day. Have a good day. Bye. So that's it for this episode. Please look forward for our next podcast episode. For more information about our services, please visit our website and other social media channels. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Bye.